Yeah, so just prepare to.
It'll be great.
It'll be perfect. Yeah, so just prepare to.
Y'all motherfuckers don't watch us play throughout the year, to tell you the truth. I'm gonna be real with you, and I don't care if I get fined.
So just prepare to.
That train is off the track.
I feel like you can't just like jump through Neptune and be okay.
Just prepare to.
What the show needs is more dogs and bears and chickens and stuff.
Yeah, so just prepare to be awash in unbeatable goodness.
Welcome, Pacers fans. You are listening to the Undebeatables, your semi-weekly Pacers podcast. This is episode 556. Coming to you from Indianapolis, Indiana. I'm your host, Joey Gaffrida, the man behind the dials and puppet master.
I love it. I love it.
This show, we're basically we're going to let Jason take us through the trade machine, and we got some Undegoogles for you. Joining me this show are all three of our analysts, coast to coast, like buttered toast. First, from the high school home of Jameson Brewer, Silver Spring, Maryland, it's the doctor, Jason Triplett.
What is up, Pacers fans? What is up, Undebeatables? Shout out this week to Chuck Diesel. Easy money. Got a birthday coming up.
It does.
Shout out to you.
Shout out. From Morehead City, North Carolina, he's our in-house bartender mixing up the drinks and the crappy jingles, John Colson.
It's an aspirational city. Shout out to the Pacer Nation and my fellow Undebeatables. During the break, Joey told me about a guy named, was it John Haiku?
Zhang.
Shang Haiku.
Zhang.
Anyway, so I really quickly wrote a haiku for Joey. Joey is to me a benevolent rainstorm, not as good as food.
I appreciate that. That's very, it's been so long since anyone wrote a haiku for me. I appreciate that.
Yeah.
It's beautiful.
Yeah. Just, find us at Twitter and vote to make Colson have to do one every week.
Yeah. I like that.
Oh my goodness. All right.
Maybe get that tattooed on the small of your back.
Okay, fair enough. Okay, look. If we get enough Patreons, I will do all these things.
Ooh, I like that.
Yeah, I will get the stamp tramp. I'll do a haiku every week, but I need more Patreons.
Did you say stamp tramp?
He did.
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay.
And how many patrons do we need?
I'll just a lot. When I can quit my job and just live off of their money, then I'll do it. Oh wait, I already quit my job and I'm living off their money. Never mind.
All right.
I guess
Send in your
I'm gonna have
designs for
to
Colson's tramp stamp, which he's apparently getting immediately.
From Boise, Idaho, out west, it's our enforcer, John Harper.
What's going on, fellas? Just already looking forward to next week's haiku by Colson. We need a name for this spot. That was not very catchy.
The haiku corner.
The High Life Haiku.
The high
Ooh,
corner.
I like
High
that.
corner.
High corner. High life corner. Haiku life corner. Oh, that's not bad. The high
Or
life.
just the haiku
corner?
life.
Haiku life. All right.
The Champagne of Poems.
I love you guys. Oh, this has to be a segment now. Also, what's going on with Shang Haiku? Can we get his? Can I get his stats on his career as a basketball player? Because
yeah,
he's the one who inspired this whole new highlight
Well,
corner.
you started this saying that no player has ever been called haiku, which seemed a little bold for me, and I went right to Basketball Reference, which told me that you were not telling the truth. Zhang Haiku played 1 minute of professional basketball for the Blue Whales in the Chinese League. His career stats, let's just start with his per 36. I think we should start there. He attempted 36.0 field goals per 36.
How many
Those are
did
all
he hit?
2-pointers.
How many did he hit?
I don't think that's relevant to the conversation. He averaged 36 turnovers per 36 minutes also.
What's his assist to turnover ratio on that?
Undefined, I think. No, he played 1 minute of a game, and he had one attempted shot, and he missed, and he had a turnover.
So, since he was on the Blue Whales, maybe, since this is the way my brain works, maybe we call it the Blue Whale Minute. And I'll do a haiku at the beginning of every show, the Blue Whale Minute.
You gotta sell us on it.
If you can find the script, you can write it into the script, and then Joey will read
it. That's never going to happen.
If it's there.
I don't know how the internet works.
Yeah. Generally, we'll just send a link, and but you'd have to log in, and it's not your bag. Baby.
Log into what?
Well, I mean, I forget all of my passwords and login names, so.
You very rarely have your accounts compromised by the Russian.
Only
hackers.
occasionally.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, you'd think with how often you forget your own passwords that they'd be rotated relatively frequently.
No,
Which would
it's
result
because
in
the issue
operational
is it's
security.
the same one
High
for
security.
15 years.
Yeah. But instead your password is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Did we talk about Patreon yet? Besides the
No, if they
upcoming
give me
tattoos?
money, I'll get tattoos. That's what I'm saying.
I think
And
if
haikus,
that's,
tattoos and haikus.
tattoos and haikus.
haikus.
That's on the. Those are our stretch goals. But right now, if you head over to patreon.com/undebeatables, you can support us for as little as $1 per month. But if you want land the big game, which is a stamp tramp, as you call it.
That's correct.
Which just sounds like some violence, and it sounds like misogynistic violence is what it sounds like. But
I was thinking more against like hobos. Or not hobos,
Yes,
actual tramps, right? Because we learned that there's a hierarchy.
Exactly. There's a hobo union. And tramps are not a part of it.
They are not.
all right, so we spent a large chunk of our show on Tuesday or Monday talking about the some potential trades.
Are you just giving me the leeway to put it out on Tuesday? Is that what that was?
Did no, not even a little bit.
Okay.
We took a long part of our show released at the correct time earlier this week. There's been discussions about some Pacers that maybe on the trading block. The three that have sort of hit the rumors the most have been Sabonis, Miles Turner, and Karis LeVert. I think probably everybody else is
Already traded. No.
it's already traded,
Yeah,
or everybody else is on the table except for Brogdon, who by contract cannot be traded this season. So, Jason, I think you said you may have some potential trades, things that might be helpful to us. But what do you got for us?
Well, so I thought, since we're, heading for a rebuild or a rejiggering of the roster, let's throw some things out there. Let me see how you guys feel about them, and we can start envisioning our new overlords and welcome them to our world. So these trades come from a very interesting sort of back and forth conversation between Seth Partnow, Danny LaRue, and Sam Vecini on The Athletic, who had a little article out last week. And they come largely in two categories. So sort of Karis LeVert trades or Sabonis Turner. So people that might be in need of a big guy,
Right.
or people that might want to wait.
And
Okay.
this was kind of my idea as well. Like, we're probably not going to trade both Sabonis and Turner. We're likely going to trade one of them. And if we're really tearing everything down, we'll also probably trade LeVert.
Yep.
Or maybe we can get Warren healthy enough to trade him.
I don't think that's
Yeah.
bad.
Actually, that was the most interesting part of this article to me. Was the very end was like Warren is the most likely piece to be moved. Like once he gets on the floor and is proven healthy, like he's out the door.
I mean, his stock, he's not going to be playing any better than the last time we saw him play.
Right, right, for sure.
Okay, so let's do the LeVert trades first because they're sort of a 1-to-1 kind of swap out kind of thing, so we can think about them easily. How do you feel about adding the final year of Buddy Hield and his contract to the Pacers in exchange for Karis LeVert from the Kings? The Kings, who are always in lottery land. I doubt we could extract a draft pick from them.
Correct.
But a straight up swap for Buddy Hield, and then if you like Buddy Hield, you could try to re-sign him, or you got cap space.
Well, I mean, what's his current contract? He's getting ready to be. He's in his rookie contract still, correct?
He is in the final year of his deal, I believe. Give me.
Well, so what I would say off the bat is that I'm not sure Sacramento makes that 1-to-1. What does that do for them? I mean, don't they want? They've got. I feel like they'd probably want something else out of us.
I was mistaken. According to HoopsHype, Buddy Hield still has 2 more years on his deal. But it's a declining contract, so 23, 21, and then 19.
Oh, it was one
Okay,
of those
so he's
weird-
already signed out of his rookie deal and he's into this thing. Okay.
Yep.
Right, but he's got 3 years left at $80 million.
Yep.
Or $65 million.
Something like that, roughly. Yep.
And Karis LeVert has, 2 years left?
I knew you were going to ask that question. He has 1 year left. So he has this year and
He's an
next year.
expiring.
So he's 17 and a half this year and
So do we want
almost
to go...
19 next year.
Okay, so he's not an expiring, so he has 1 more year.
Correct.
Okay. So do we want to go add another year on for a guy who's younger and potentially a better fit? I mean, how do you feel about him with Malcolm Brogdon? He's better at catch and release shooter.
He's a much better shooter than LeVert. That's for sure.
He is, although his 3-point percentage has been declining since 2016, basically. 2017? Which is
He's
a
on a
weird thing.
declining contract, right?
right, exactly.
You get what you pay for. You know?
Isn't that always the case?
To the point where this season he's only shooting 35% from behind the
Ooh.
arc, which is not what you think of when you think of Buddy Hield.
No.
Right. So Miles Turner our center is shooting better than him, who's a 2 guard.
All right, so
Yeah.
you guys don't seem very excited about this.
Well, I mean, I'm not opposed to it because I feel like he might fit better in the sense that he's not a guy that needs the ball. He's not a ball stopper, but he's also a guy. Karis LeVert is also a guy who can get us a bucket when we need it, and but I don't know if Buddy Hield is that.
If he's playing one of those games where he's in fuego, then yes. But
Oh,
that
sure,
happens
of course.
once every
Of course.
10 games.
Right. I mean, this is why he's not a franchise player for Sacramento, right? Because he's not proven it.
Yeah.
Joey, what do you think? You like this deal or no?
I don't. I mean, I like Buddy Hield, but my concern is he going to stay?
Well, you got him for 2 more years. That's a problem for future Joey.
Oh, okay. Oh, yeah. Screw that guy. That's what I've always said. I don't know. I guess I kind of feel like it's kind of neutral. If there's something else to sweeten the deal, but if it's just a straight up swap, then
What's the point?
Then
yeah.
Not hearing a lot of excitement. Harper,
No,
Yeah.
no, I'm not. I feel like I liked Buddy Hield a lot more before I started looking at his numbers. Like his PER last year ended up at 12.8. Like I don't watch a lot of Kings ball clearly, but I definitely thought the Buddy Hield was playing better for them than that.
Yeah, the question with him is how much of that is he's just needs to get the Sacramento stink off of him and get a new environment, and then
I mean,
he'd be, like,
Get a-
energized.
get a
Some
new
of that-
stank.
Get some of that Pacer stack.
That's right.
That's the name of the pod, by the way.
All right. How about a guy that Rick Carlisle recently coached and may be intrigued by, Tim Hardaway Jr. of the Dallas Mavericks. In
For
exchange
what?
for
Just straight up.
just straight up, yeah. Straight
For
up.
LeVert.
I think the salaries are pretty close. Let me look it up real quick. Tim Hardaway Jr. Yeah. Tim Hardaway Jr. on a 4-year deal. He's making 21.3 this year, but by the end of that deal, he's only making 16.
I'm out.
He had a great game against us last week.
Sure, but he's one of these. I feel like he's one of these all or nothing players. Like if he's not scoring the ball, you're not getting anything. I think he's too small. I think he's the no. I'm out. I don't think he's the player I want on my team.
Wow, that was unequivocal.
Yeah, that was quick.
I mean, he's definitely an imperfect player. I mean, stat-wise, he just doesn't shoot the ball very well. He may fit into our concept better, and he may be a better teammate. And at this point, I don't know if that's not what we're looking for.
Right, but do you think? I mean, is Karis LeVert a bad teammate? Do
I
we
don't
have
know.
evidence for that?
Something don't smell right in Denmark, though, bud.
I kind of like the. I think he fits okay with Brogdon. Brogdon's a big enough guard that they could sort of like, you're not undersized in the backcourt, which I think is, which is why it works in Dallas now because you essentially have Luka
I mean,
as the point there.
he's sneakily listed at 6'5".
Really?
Boy,
Wow.
I don't believe
He does
that
not
at all.
look
No,
that tall.
He plays about 6'2".
Yeah.
Plays
Joe, you have
6'2".
thoughts on Tim Hardaway Jr.?
I mean, I'm kind of out on it too. I don't know. Yeah, not super exciting, and I don't know. Like I like having LeVert, and I think they're going to bring. I need a better offer than that.
So, Joey, I just want to make sure that this is probably just a nickname issue, right? Because like you love the nickname Viceroy for Karis LeVert, and you probably don't like the nicknames for Tim Hardaway Jr. I'm assuming.
Yeah.
Tim Hardaway Jr.
Yeah, it's THJ.
Yeah, it's not as good as the Viceroy.
No.
It's not.
So Tim Hardaway Sr. His nickname is Timbug, which I like that better. If we could do a package deal.
For a 55-year-old Tim Hardaway Sr.
We might need him on the bench coaching just for mentorship purposes, if nothing else.
Actually, Colson, well done. He is 55 years old exactly.
Dang.
Nailed it.
Nailed it.
Okay. This next one, I saw someplace else, quasi intriguing, but not really. Cleveland this year is playing surprisingly good basketball.
They are.
Yeah, they have the record that
Fancies
we should
themselves.
Right.
Right. They fancy themselves as a playoff team, but they might want to do some things to cement that. One of their young guards, Colin Sexton,
Right.
is out.
Right. They don't
and
want him.
injured. So you can imagine that they might want to trade this young fella for a little bit more scoring punch. Maybe a guy named Karis LeVert. You'd probably have to add other players to make the contracts work because somehow Cleveland is over the salary cap because they pay Kevin Love a crap ton of money. So maybe they throw in
Kevin
Seti
Love.
Osmond or Seti Osman or any interest in Colin Sexton? Do you see him as a future guy? He's on the second to last year of his rookie deal. You could do a qualifying offer for next year for $8 million or something like that.
I feel like you guys are always the ones that are high on their backcourt and not me. But I think that this is a super intriguing trade.
Yeah, I'm actually more interested in this one than the other one.
Here's my deal. If Cleveland's giving up on him, if they're like,
They know he's good.
They said we have the decision between Sexton and Garland, and we're going with Garland and screw Sexton because he's too small and he can't work on the backcourt with Garland. So let's just get rid of him for Karis LeVert, who would be better for them. I feel like we're getting screwed unless we get like a draft pick out of it.
Okay, let's say they throw a lottery protected.
Yep, I'm in then. I'll take it.
You would do it for a lottery protected pick. Okay, cool.
And Sexton and what's the other guy you said?
He said Garland,
I think
and we're not getting him.
No, I didn't say Garland.
Sexton. You said Sexton and
Sexton and Osmond.
Chetty? Oh.
Yeah. And a lottery protected first round? I think I'd probably do that.
I mean, I think you would too, but I don't think you're getting all that, bud.
Well, that's the only way I'm doing it. Otherwise, I'm not sure that Sexton is the answer to any question anybody's ever asked.
I mean, he is the answer to a dude who's a dude who scored 24 points a game last year.
Yeah. Who can't stay in front of anybody and is too short to put a hand in anybody's face.
Is he on the court?
Yeah.
He played.
Not right now.
I mean, not right now, but
yeah,
when
in
he
general,
comes back.
he's pretty healthy.
I mean, my biggest dig on him would be his total lack of three-point shooting, but he's still young enough that he could correct that. But, I mean, his ability to get to the rack and break down defenses, it's there.
Mm-hmm.
And we don't have that.
Well, one of the things that we have right now is size. And imagine a McConnell Sexton bench. Like they're both like what, 5'2", 5'1"?
They're not 5'1".
That sounds about right.
Yeah. And they play closer to 6 feet, though. But, that said, I mean, if this is the trade that we're making, we're keeping, 3 gigantic front line guys, 3 7-footers on our team, right? I mean,
sure.
obviously you like to have size and length on your perimeter, but if you've got 2 7-footers on the floor at all times, I mean, that's meant in part to make up for that.
Fair enough.
Well, what? Just sort of a side conversation on the LeVert trades is: do we feel like he's not panned out, or do we feel like he's part of the problem? I mean, his health issue. He had health issues, but he's back. And he's as of recently, he's been playing the best ball basically that he's been playing since he's been in Indy.
I mean, I think that my opinion of Karis LeVert is that he's not quite as good as you want him to be. Like, he's a very talented ball handler. He can score relatively well. He does not shoot the ball particularly well, especially from deep. And he is not as good a defender as you think he would be. In my opinion, it's a question of engagement for him on the defensive end. Like, he clearly has the athletic ability to be an excellent defender.
Yeah.
Right, exactly. And when he is engaged, he's an excellent defender, but that happens rarely,
And I feel like with that, energy that you're saving on the defensive end, at least be going hard to the rack and getting to the free throw line. But he's averaging, a career low 2.2 free throw attempts a game right now. It's not what you need, right?
Yep.
Well, to be a little fair, they did change some of the rules this year. Everybody's shooting less free throws this year.
I mean, last year he was at 4.2.
We moved Victor Oladipo for him.
I mean,
and we needed
was more than a little forced in his decision.
Of course.
Exactly.
And I thought we got a really good player back in return. I
good.
think Karis LeVert is a very good player.
Totally.
But he's not a leader, and he's not really too much of a difference maker on the floor. Like, look, he's solid. He's doing what we need him to do. But, yes, I understand why he's on the block.
I mean, the thing I think, to your question, Joey, that's sort of hidden from us is, who do we think the problem guys are in the locker room? Because at this point, I think probably the organization, at least, if not us as well, thinks that there's at least 1 or 2 guys in there.
Right.
And I guess I would agree with those guys that, TJ Warren is shaping up to be the first to go as soon as we can offload him. But, I don't know exactly where Karis LeVert falls. I agree. I never got a sign that, an outward sign anyway, that he was a real problem. So, yeah, you'd like to get some value back. But in terms of what he's actually given us in the win-loss column this year, it hasn't been super impressive between the injuries, the poor three-point shooting, and not being always engaged defensively. It hasn't been the sweetest honeymoon, right?
Yeah, but I think it's less of he's a problem for the team and more of he's a dude of value. He's an asset that you could get value back for.
But but the things
Somebody
we're doing
might
right now,
trade a draft pick.
But the trades we're talking about are things that doesn't seem to me like equal value. Like, Buddy Hield maybe, what I don't know, Sexton maybe, but what should we?
So
just
it should be said. So these trades that I came up with again are from that article, and the way they approached it was these are teams that would be interested in getting a Karis LeVert.
No, I get that, but what I'm saying is I'm not sure that makes us better than Karis LeVert. I feel like maybe is anybody going to give us a draft pick for him?
Potentially, I think potentially something.
Yeah, you're not going to get a top 10, but you can get a draft pick.
The problem is in the Eastern Conference, there's 12 teams that are all within 4 games of one another. So you're not quite at the point where teams are we're a piece away from making a run, or we're a piece away from, cementing ourselves into the playoffs. Everybody thinks they're fine with their squad right now. And in the West, it's you weirdly have a bunch of crap teams. That
you have
are
3 good teams,
right
and
now.
that's it.
Yeah, exactly. And so they're well, I don't know. We still might make it. Why make a move? So, all right. What, Joey? Do you want to? Let's take a break, maybe.
Yeah,
and then,
I was just gonna say we should do that.
Turner Sabonis deals in the second half.
Yeah, that sounds good. Let's take a quick one. I'm going to come back with a stat of the week.
Ooh, stat of the week.
And
I think we missed one last week, buddy.
We did. But so this one, I think this one makes up for it because it's intense.
Mm. You guys have heard the joke, right? So a guy runs into a psychiatrist's office and he says, "I'm a wigwam, I'm a teepee. I'm a wigwam, I'm a teepee. I'm a wigwam, I'm a teepee." And the psychiatrist says, "Relax, you're too tense."
Collected by your father, not like by the ocean, enslaved by devotion, sexual emotions, led to passionate convulsions. The waves we ride compulsive, to save the night's attire. Your demand is to perspire, your demand is to desire. Not materialistic objects, unto real amount released, unto real amount of peace. Led us straight from the beach, in the room of living. The grapes we taste are French, the kiss we taste is French. To the edge we close an inch, hearts are synchronized, matching our BPM. Love we must be in, to leave our must we in. Hours turn to days, our souls are what we gave, until we're out of attention. Now we're quiet like detention, memory retention. This isn't what we mentioned, when we said we wanted no other. No secrecy in lovers, the decency of covers. It's like we entered another portal, where the love became immortal. Exchange was more than oral, man it feels like San Diego. Inquiring for Carmen, west of us Pacific, Oceanside apartment, UO furnished, antique and modern, shelf of vintage vinyl, collected by her father. Man it feels like San Diego. Inquiring for Carmen, west of us Pacific, Oceanside apartment, UO furnished, antique and modern, shelf of vintage vinyl, collected by her father.
We are back from the break, and before we get into the second part of our discussion about how we're going to dismantle the Pacers, we want to bring up my stat of the week.
Joey, stat of the week!
I learned recently that, we talk, we've got our friend, the beekeeper, Greg, and
Buzz fool suckers.
He's taught us a lot about bees. He he inspired me to keep bees for a couple years, and I thought I knew a lot about bees, but I learned recently that there are vulture bees that they will eat flesh. They will eat carrion. They're dead. They're not predators, but they will eat. They'll eat meat, and I'd not heard of anything like that. Gut bacteria are very similar to what's in like a vulture.
Gut bacteria was the name of my band in high school.
Gut bacteria was nice. I just liked it. So I think it leads to good quotes like this one. The vulture bee microbiome is enriched in acid-loving bacteria, which are novel bacteria that their relatives don't have.
That was plagiarized for me, but okay.
So it says these bacteria are similar to ones found in actual vultures, as well as hyenas and other carrion feeders, presumably to help protect them from pathogens that show up on carrion.
Are there other? I mean, obviously there are other insects that are carnivorous, right?
I mean, flies love dead meat, right?
Right.
The maggots do, yeah, and praying mantises, as we've discussed on the Undebeatables.
Well, they were eating other insects though. They weren't like preying on.
That's a carnivore, right?
Oh, fair enough.
Yeah.
But I mean, are they like eating off dead human flesh
as opposed to carrion eaters?
That's a good question.
Yeah. If you eat a live bug versus a carrion flesh.
Yeah, I've always thought it was funny. Humans love to call themselves carnivores, but we're actually not at all. We're carrion eaters.
Yeah.
Good point.
Yeah.
What does carnivore mean? Like you eat a live animal? Or what's the...
I mean, we're the only species that cooks its food, period.
Yeah.
True.
So, yeah, every other species eats raw meat.
Right.
After it dyes it, right?
Right.
And, the lazy ones like us, who just walk far but not fast because we can't hunt anything until, we get really smart and make tools. But we were just designed to walk a long way and find dead crap and eat it. It's like what we did.
Shout out evolution.
Yeah.
Yeah, shout out.
Shout out figuring out fire. It really made a difference in our quality of life.
They're stingless bees, too. And they have teeth.
I don't
Whoa.
like that.
Ali said,
weird.
float like a butterfly, sting like a bee. Should he have said, float like a butterfly, don't sting like a bee?
Bite like a bee?
Bite like a bee.
Bite like a bee.
Yeah.
All right, you guys want to hear some more
Yeah.
ways to blow up our team?
Yeah,
That'd be
so I
it.
don't feel like we got anywhere last time. I just disagreed with all the trades.
I agree with you.
Okay.
These trades might be a little juicier for your palate.
Okay.
Okay, so now these are, trade one of our big guys, Sabonis or Turner. It seems like most teams are more interested in Turner than they are Sabonis. Okay, so first, Charlotte. The Charlotte Hornets need a big guy. They're relying way too much on
Hayward
Zeller.
at 4.
a Zeller or a Plumlee.
Plumlee.
I forget which
one
it
or the
is.
other, right?
Yeah.
What are your feelings about getting not next year, but a 2024 first round draft pick from them? James Bouknight, who was their first round draft pick this year, and Kelly Oubre Jr. to make the salaries work
For Miles Turner?
from Charlotte for either one of those guys.
If I could have that for Miles Turner, I don't even need to think about it.
Wow, you're done, huh?
Yep.
You love Kelly Oubre?
No, I love James Bouknight in their first round draft pick.
Yeah, okay.
I don't hate Kelly Oubre. And he also has value that I can flip out again. Not a lot. A little.
Not a lot, but
What's
he's
his
got interesting
contract?
hair. He's he's the fun guy to watch.
Exactly. And we need fun
Because
guys to watch.
He might be a knucklehead. Yeah.
We need one of them.
We also need a knucklehead. We're checking all kinds of boxes.
Boy, Harper jumped
Colson
on that
does not
so
like it.
fast. I'm not sure. I don't think that doesn't make me happy. I mean, they're going to be in the playoffs 2 years from now, so the draft pick would be outside the lottery.
You don't know that. I mean, that's the whole thing about gambling and getting assets, right? Like, so if you're going to rebuild your team, the strategy is collect as many young players and draft picks as you can because you don't know what's going to happen. The Golden State Warriors were in the lottery last year and got the number 3 pick. 3 years ago, would you have guessed that? You would have said, no way. I'm not taking your draft picks.
Do you remember when Philly totally tanked to get all those picks?
Uh-huh.
And how are they doing now?
They got 2 franchise players. One of them doesn't even play, and they're like 3rd in the East. And
yeah, they're way better
probably
than
going to
us.
make a move and get. Yeah, they were a Kawhi Leonard triple, quadruple bouncing 3-pointer from being in the Eastern Conference Finals and probably going to the finals 2 years ago.
All right. Okay. So are you saying that we need to tank and just get a bunch of draft picks?
I'm saying if your strategy is to rebuild, the way to do it is to get as many chips, as many shots at the bites at the apple, whatever the analogy is you want to go with.
So you're saying Book Knight and a draft pick and Oubre.
And salary to make salaries match.
Yeah, and we still got a competent.
It makes us worse.
We still got a competent. I mean, does it a lot because Goga is actually looking about as good a shot blocker, per minute as Turner does. I mean, granted he's not playing against the same competition, but it's not that big of a downgrade. Book Knight,
we're already pretty bad. So.
Yeah, right. Book Knight is a legit guy, right? I mean, he could have gone higher than he did in the draft. He can play.
All right. I would have a meeting about it. Is all I'm saying.
Okay.
I'd have a meeting.
Have a meeting. Okay, that's good. That's good. Okay.
This was the meeting. Thanks for attending. Consensus is
being
we would
done
do
without
that.
me.
Moving
Joey,
on.
how do you feel about this?
I could I'd hold a second meeting about this.
Okay.
After
you'd have a Morehead City meeting about it.
I don't.
That's where we should hold all of our conferences. Obviously.
All right, next one. Going in a slightly different direction. There was lots of talk of Pacers trading for Ben Simmons earlier in the year. I suppose it'd potentially make something happen. We might need to get a third team involved because Philly has a lot of big dudes already, or at least one major big dude that they like. How do you feel about Ben Simmons? Probably throw in, they have a couple of young guys, Paul Reed and Isaiah Joe. They don't have a ton of draft picks, I don't think, that they can throw our way, but those guys are essentially draft picks for this year. I don't know anything about them, so I can't tell you anything about them.
I will let Joey know the nicknames.
Okay.
So nicknames include Simo the Savage, Young Socialite,
Okay.
Fresh Prince,
I love it.
Peacemaker. I don't know if these still apply. Benny.
And the Jets.
I don't know who the Jets are. Maybe we're the Jets. Nobody wants to be the Jets. The Yank, Big Ben, and the Wizard of Oz. He's got a lot of nicknames.
Benjamin David Simmons.
Let's bring him in, just for all the nicknames.
Harper, what you like it? Or?
I have a really difficult time knowing what to think about Ben Simmons because of the way that he and the organization have treated each other. There's no one without blame in that. I'm pretty hesitant. This is a team that also shut us down time after time after time, right? So I don't know how willing they are to trade us at all.
Right.
I would be pretty hesitant. It's one of those things where, I would love to talk to Ben Simmons for 15 minutes and try and get inside his head and figure out where he's actually at. But, I mean, he's a 6'11 guy who can handle the ball, get to the rack, all NBA defense guy. I mean, there's a lot to like there.
Mm-hmm.
But, we're an organization that seems to be struggling with cohesion, and I don't know if he's the answer to that problem.
Yeah, I mean, that's the big question mark. I mean,
that is the only reason that he's on the block.
Right.
And the only reason that nobody else has offered up an actual, all-star for him. What about, this is in the mode of a reboot and would involve getting a former Pacer back.
Colson loves a reboot.
I do.
San Antonio Spurs.
Give me
seem to
Thad
be
Young.
Very interested
Give me Thad Young.
in Sabonis. So we could have Thad Young, Josh Primo, who was their 2021 first-round draft pick. Have them throw in their 2022 first-round draft pick. And then probably your choice of Derek White, Keldon Johnson, or Lonnie Walker. The fourth, I believe he is.
Okay.
Joey's nodding his head. Joey likes this.
I'm
deal.
loving this. I love this.
You
deal.
know what? Here's the thing. I don't like dealing with the Spurs because they're smarter than you.
Right,
You know?
and they always win.
So
See,
I think it's a trap.
Kawhi Leonard.
Yeah.
Right.
It's a trap.
It's a trap. Okay.
Whoever we trade is going to be unlocked and be way better than they were on our team because we lack imagination. So we're always going to lose no matter what trade we put out there unless we heavily win the trade. And I like the idea of 2 draft picks, a young talent, and courageous heart coming back my way. I love this idea. Like that's
On
a
a
lot
team
of
that
bites
you
at
don't
the
think
apple.
can develop talent? What's the point?
It's a lot of bites at the apple, at least.
Okay.
That hopefully those people just coach themselves.
Everyone, we're gonna lose this trade. We're gonna lose this trade.
So we should not make a trade, is what you're saying.
Something's going to happen, but we're going to lose this trade. Either big guy is going to go out and be better. And all the Karis LeVert things you threw at me was like almost like an apple for an apple. Like it's not going to make us better. So I don't know what we're doing.
So many fruit metaphors.
Do you want one of those like grape apple hybrids? Is that what you're looking for?
Grapple.
Have you had those? Is that what? Yeah, I think they're called grapples. Have you had those before?
Colson
Is that
likes
the
grappa.
grape that's the size of a kiwi.
Yeah. That's a weird thing. right?
Yeah, no, I think they're like it's called grapples. So yeah, they're just like they're made in a made in a lab. I think.
There's a kiwi thing that's the size of a grape.
No, this is a joke from earlier. We were talking about these huge grapes that Colson kept saying, like, it's like a kiwi.
Right. I just realized I've been saying the name wrong of this product for the whole time. It's Grapple. Of course it's Grapple.
Why is it not grapple?
I've only read
also-
it, obviously.
Yeah. And also I didn't realize the way they make these is they soak them in a solution of concentrated grape flavor and water to make the apple flesh taste like a Concord grape.
That's super
So
weird.
It is, and I'm sad that I had done this in the past.
Grape kiwis are just a thing.
All right. Sounded like the everybody's in on dealing with San Antonio. Except Harper, what do you think?
I mean, I don't love it. I am
Don't
super
love it.
worried. I mean, there's a lot of talent to pick off there. But I think it's Sabonis that they want. I think it's less so Turner.
Totally.
If we can get, Derek White and, Primo and a first rounder, like, yeah, I could see that. But,
You know what? I would like to see a Popovich coached Miles Turner. Like, not for the Pacers, but like I think it would be pretty
I
cool
would
to watch.
love to see that for the Pacers, by the way.
Yeah. Oh, if we could get Popovich.
Yeah.
I will trade Turner for Pop.
Okay.
Oh, wait.
Then what do you do with
And then have him coach him by...
By iPod stick.
yeah, exactly. The Golden State Warriors are back in the championship hunt. Maybe they could use a rim defender. They got a bunch of young dudes.
I'm taking Wiseman
Would you be interested in Wiseman?
and Moody.
Oh, you want Moody too?
Yeah.
You would rather have Moody than Kuminga?
Oh, good question. What about Poole? Can I have Poole?
Probably not.
I would take.
Wiseman, Kuminga, and probably I think they need to throw in another contract, Damian Lee or something like that.
Well, if I can
the
have
money to
two
work.
of those guys for either, they probably want Miles Turner, right? Because they need a rim defender. They'd probably
That would be my guess.
But you know what? they actually don't need defense. They're the number one defense in the league. Sabonis being a passer down low for them would also be good. I think they'd get better by either one of our big men. If I could take 2 of the 4 names that we mentioned, I would do it. I think we're just helping them win a title, though.
I mean,
Because I think our big men are really good.
does it matter?
No. Because
Yeah,
it's not like we're going to meet them in the finals.
Exactly, right. There's a
Yeah.
Right. Joey, thoughts?
I mean, I haven't seen these guys play maybe as much. I could go for some good upside. Harper, what about you?
I guess I'm just a little. I mean, I agree that I would trade Turner for all their young talent that they just tanked a season to draft. You know what I mean? Like that would be awesome. But I don't really know why they want Turner because Wiseman is their Turner. I mean, granted, he's not going to be as good a shot blocker. I don't know. I find it a bit of a confusing trade if I'm the Warriors. But yeah, I would happily take Moody off their hands for it if they want to give it to me. I'm super hit on that.
I am too. And Kaminga and Poole and Wiseman. I'd take any of those guys.
Give me all the Warriors team. I would be happy.
They have so much depth right now, and it doesn't even. Oh god! And they're just still leading the league.
They're set up for a generation right now.
Yeah, exactly. So I'm happy to pick off that.
Yeah, I think that would be an unlikely outcome for us, but I'd be into it. What do you think, Jason? Do you think there's life in that trade?
I don't know. I don't know that Golden State would needs to do anything.
Right.
I don't know that it cements them anymore into the top spot or whatever.
Right.
I mean, I think they feel like they can win a championship with Draymond at 5. You know what I mean?
Agree. I think that's exactly how they feel. And I think that, and it's not like adding Turner or Sabonis would make them the hands down favorite against Brooklyn or Milwaukee or Phoenix right now.
Right.
And so yeah, it's like they would add Turner, but he wouldn't even play crunch time minutes for them.
Right.
So,
right.
What's the point? So,
Yeah.
But yes, I agree with you, Harper. I like Wiseman. I like Kaminga. I like Moody. I would take those dudes and have a nice, young, exciting crew to watch. I'd be down for that. So anyway, those are some of the options that are out there that people are talking about. Who knows if anything will actually happen.
Oh no, Jason. So when this comes out, this will be the 15th, or it'll be after the 15th. So that's when
after the 15th.
Yeah, it's when most of the contracts that were signed in the offseason become tradable. So between December 15th and the trade deadline, which is in early February, this is going to get super heightened. All this conversation is going to be crazy. And I believe that we will trade one of these players that we've mentioned before February's deadline. Okay. I think that I'm gonna guarantee that. In fact,
are you including Warren?
Yes.
Would you write a haiku about it?
I will next week.
Okay.
Jason, since we made you host, I don't feel like we got the most feedback from you. Did you have besides just taking the Warriors team, do you have a favorite trade?
Yeah, I mean, I like the reboot idea. I think trading with San Antonio seems like the thing that's most likely to happen, is sending Sabonis their way and getting Primo, who I don't know a lot about, but the Spurs drafted him, so they must have there must be something good about him, and another draft pick, and bringing Thad Young back, and maybe one other piece. I think that's a nice re-energization of the franchise. At least we're moving in a different direction, which I think is exciting to me.
Hey, by the way, this is not related, but
oh well, we can't allow it on the show then.
Exactly. Wait. We are very tight. We run this ship very tight.
We have 2 players on our team that are their nicknames are the baby versions of other players, which I think is. So Karis LeVert his nickname is Baby Durant.
No, his nickname is Viceroy.
Okay, well, that's not what Basketball Reference says.
Well,
Durant is Daddy Viceroy.
And Keelan Martin is Baby Shaq.
Hasn't there been like 20 Baby Shaqs?
I don't know,
Eddie
man.
Curry.
More than that, probably.
So I don't.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Sorry. Kmart is Keelan Martin. That's obvious. So we're, that's done. And Viceroy is, if you'll listen to our previous show, is Karis LeVert. So shut up, basketball reference.
Boy, a lot of yelling at inanimate objects, but all right.
And also, like, our favorite site. Chill out, man.
Right.
Yeah, no, it's basically where I get all my information.
Thanks for all you do, basketball reference.
Yeah.
We'll link to you. And
I might have to make a donation now.
Yeah, there's actually four players that are nicknamed Baby Shaq.
Eddie Curry.
Eddie Curry.
Big Baby.
No.
No, not Big Baby? Oh,
No.
I'm out.
Keelan Martin, Nathan Jawai.
Don't know who that is.
Who played 2009, 2010 Minnesota Timberwolves. His nicknames were also Nathan Jawai. His nicknames were also, this one showed up, Nate just showed up as a nickname.
That's not a nickname. That's his name.
Exactly. He also was known as Outback Shaq, Aussie Shaq, and
There you go.
Baby Shaq. So I'm guessing.
Outback Shack I like a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Except, obviously, he wasn't very good. But
He's Australian, though, potentially.
good day, mate.
The other one here is, oh man, it is a name. He is from Cameroon. Sophocles Skortsanitis.
Sophocles, I'm with you on. I lost you after that.
Oh, it's Sophocles. Okay. Sophocles Skortsanitis.
Well, I can tell you that Sophocles was a Greek philosopher.
Yeah, but it's spelled Sofoklis.
Sophocles.
Sophocles.
Schwarzenegger.
Skortsanitis.
Schwarzenegger. Yeah, it sounds like something. It sounds like a rash you get when you're, when you're wearing them John Stockton shorts, right?
He was Baby Shaq and Big Sofo.
Oh, Big Sofa was my my band in high school.
You knew we'd get there eventually.
All right.
Let's wrap
In
it up,
Moorhead
my friend.
City.
Yeah.
Also, always wrap it up. It's always a good idea. Safe sex
Well,
matters.
I think it's time to end the show.
Forever?
Not forever. Probably just until Monday. But until then, you can find us on the internet. We are on Twitter at Undebeatables. We are on Facebook.com/The Undebeatables. We're on TheUndebeatables.com. There is a contact form there. You can use that to send us a message. You can send us an email. Shout out at TheUndebeatables.com. And we got a store on our website /store.
That's gonna have a bunch of new T-shirts in. We just have to vote on them.
You were gonna make you're gonna have to prove that you were 18 or older, right, to buy from the store. It's gonna be pretty filthy, right?
Well, it's definitely strap on something. I don't know. That's fair though, right?
Yeah.
We can't even. There's not even a picture, Joey, of the T-shirt on the website. It's just parental advisory over it.
It's like blurred out.
It's blurred out. Yeah. Yeah.
For the architect Donnie Walsh and our once and always Hall of Fame coach Bobby Leonard. Turn out the lights. The party's over.
Wow.
So matter of fact.
Well, I love you guys. I'm just, I just want to get back to talking to you. Ignore the singing. Let's chat more about basketball.
What about the other 555 times?
Eh.